protection. Drop the clutch, pedal to the floor, turn that keeper into a lion's roar. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's slow this down, break the speed of sound. Tonight we own the road. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Red on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. Red on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat. You make my heart beat. I'm just calling to say I I'm just I'm just calling to say I
Heaven just knows what it was. Will I go back to the place where I belong? Everyone could break my heart, but I try my best to not fall apart. And I find it hard to let go. The memories keep me together. Gotta fight till the end, no pressure, no pressure. And I find it hard to say no to the ones who want something better, to the ones who never say never. You'll be my pleasure. I got nothing to be scared of, because where people live, there is always love. I know the answers in my heart, so I'll try my best to not fall apart. And I find it hard to let go. The memories keep me together. Gotta fight till the end, no pressure, no pressure. And I find it hard to say no to the ones who want something better, to the ones who never say never. Will you be my pleasure? Find it hard to let go. Memories keep me together. Gotta fight till the end, no pressure, no pressure. And I find it hard to say no to the ones who want something better, to the ones who never say never. Will you be my pleasure?
Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening so far. My name is Rick Popken, also known as Ricky DC within the community. And I'd like to welcome you to the Formula Racing League New Year special this time around. I'm very much excited. We're just gonna have a look at qualifying, but quickly I gotta fix some technical issues that have just popped up, so it should just be any minute now. Alright, there we go. That's the technical issue out of the way now. Which means we are live. Welcome everybody. I will be reading chat as well, so if you have any questions or if you want to point something out, please do. You guys are all more than welcome and in fact encouraged to be joining me on this adventure. So if you have something interesting to say, please let me know. I'll read it out. I'll bring up some fun facts as well during the match if I have any. And for the people that were wondering what the differences is, what the thing was that I had to deal with real quick, turned out that my mic filters had stopped working. I saw that it was picking up static noise from the PC, and to give you the best experience, I've decided that would be a good idea to get rid of that completely here. So anyways, we got 31 drivers on the grid this time around. So that's quite a few, and this time only GT3, so unlike the Christmas event, which I was also broadcasting, we were doing the GT3 only event this time around. I see some familiar names, some that I've already seen on the grid before. It's always very good to see some back. One of them is Tom Brunel. Belgian driver was driving one of the GT4 Cups last time around. This time obviously back in the GT3. And that's a stunning looking livery, I must say. Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. Definitely always surprised by how creative all these lads can get. Because I know one thing for sure, I really wouldn't be able to do so. I am the worst when it comes to Photoshop and those kind of programs. I don't know how most people make their liveries. I know that I was using a program called Armor Paint to do so, but they never turn out as good as I want them to be. Maybe one day with a bit of practice, I'm able to do it. Well, just a lack of creativity from my end. Anyways, we got quite a few drivers and quite a few experienced drivers as I was able to see as well, so I'm expecting some good clean racing at the front at least. Currently waiting for everybody to set the first lap time. We're watching a 15-minute quali before heading into the race, which is going to be 1 hour straight. There's a mandatory pit stop as well during that race. Everybody needs to come in. A tire swap is actually mandatory, I saw. If I read that correctly on the SimGrid. Now don't quote me on that because like good. Ooh, that is Lewis Robinson going off early into qualifying. That was his first flying lap, so means he's gonna have to try again later. He needs to find the space, which can be quite tricky around, so just slotting in behind for now. At least Neil Woodward in one of the RFL cars. Going to start his first flying lap now as well. The Ferrari 296, that is. Ooh, Assetto's gone into the wall. He was one of the top drivers in the GT4 last time around. This time finds himself in the Porsche. But obviously it's a very tricky car to drive. We do have the drivers out now on the grid as well. Currently watching Alessandro Germani headed into the last turn to try and set a better lap for himself. The last time was a 1:24. The currently fastest time is a 1:23.370, and that's set by this man, Elke Gardby, driving in a McLaren MP4 650. Yes, excuse me. I don't know why I keep thinking it's an MP4, but it's probably because that's my favorite car all around. So Benjamin Eck, more Swedes on the grid this time around as well. Driving the Lamborghini. Good for second fastest. Not quite as quick as the pole sitter, but that was a great lap. So 1:22.755, but Elke Gardby went in with a 1:22.270, so quite a big gap still between the first and the second driver. Waiting for F. Clark to go through the last turn as well. That's the other Swede that we were talking about earlier, right ahead of him. What can he do now? Currently at a 126. He's going to have to keep improving. It's going to be a 125.2. Puts him into 15th before getting pushed back to number 16 right again. Benjamin Eck has come to a halt. Has now decided that he needs to reset into the pits. Had a little bit of a moment there. Always unfortunate to see those things happening, but it is what it is. There's a lot of drivers out there today that I have not seen before as well. So it looks like we actually have some drivers from the last event, but also a lot of new faces on the server. So it's good to see. Makes the element of surprise even bigger here. Now we know it's quite a big community, obviously. Formula Racing League has been one of the most active communities I've seen so far, hosting tournaments and events. Sorry, I should probably say just events, because that's how it works in sim racing. In multiple games, actually. Also saw them do some rFactor 2. That also looks like a lot of fun, to be honest, but see the British Touring Car Championship they were doing there definitely wouldn't fit me. Or ooh, Steven Segers going into the wall and quite hard at that. Michele Ubiali, excuse me, was to 5th with a 123.205. As we now wait for Lewis Robinson to get around. This time he hasn't crashed, so this time will surely be quicker. 23.9. Will that stay? Yeah, it looks like it will. Last lap before it was a 124, so no improvement there. Gonna have to try it again a little bit later on. 102 Tuomainen gets into the pits instead, so not finishing his lap. We have number 738 coming in here. Ooh, what has happened? Alex Sackdahl has hit the wall together with another driver. I believe that's the I believe that was Sir Hill. Not entirely sure. Michael de Gora also in the wall, so a bit of an incident there during qualifying. Definitely hasn't been the cleanest of qualifyings there so far, at least. Okay, Martinicana now coming around as well in the Simtech Racing Porsche 911. Can he get better than 10th? Well, not quite, at least not this lap. Was an improvement. Looks like that one wasn't validated because... Oh, no, never mind. It's a 312. I thought it was a 212. I was like, what's going on? No, that makes a lot of sense. Excuse me. For some reason, I thought it was a 120, but it was a 312. Turns out that I have lost my ability to read. Right, in the 999 car we have coming around. Ooh, no, what has happened? Moko Garby is driving slowly. Oh, it actually looks like he was right. So Neil Woodward was about to set a fastest lap. That was what I was going to say. Looks like he unfortunately isn't improving. At least not quite yet. Quite a bit of time to go for Benjamin X going wide as well. Greg Hill now chasing around the downside hill. It can be a very tricky corner to get right here. Looks like they'll both survive. It's actually one of the main features of this track as well. Feature loved by many, hated by a lot as well. Because if you get that thing wrong, it's absolutely deadly. But I don't think I need to tell them that. They've probably experienced it firsthand at some point. Ooh, Curtis Ruston's gone into the wall as well. He's going to have to reset here, waiting for Benjamin Eck to cross, but he was a little bit slower, so I don't think he's going to be improving. Yeah, that incident definitely didn't help when it comes to setting a lap time. Karim Batanikan also trying to get around here. Has just set his fastest lap, pushes him up to 14th fastest. As qualifying is roughly 3/4 of the way done already. 15 minutes, but now only 5 of those are left here. Waiting for Jonas Constantin to get around. It's one of the Romanian drivers we have on the grid today. His best lap was a 1:24.692. Can he beat that? Yes, he can. And 1:24.170 puts him up to P19. And with the new balance of power that we have installed as well, it actually opens up opportunities, rather, for some of the drivers to pick some cars that aren't very well known in the meta. One of them being the Honda NSX, Jesus Christ. So apologies, by the way, if I sound a little bit off, a little bit confused at times. Yeah, I am really sick, but, you know, still wanting to get out there. Basically been bedridden all day. Quite unfortunate. What's the holidays, but I guess it was just too much to handle for my body. So, yeah, apologies for that in advance. I hope you guys enjoyed the show nevertheless. So I'm going to try and give it my all. Same goes for Sergio Osorio, also giving it his all. Currently 18 fastest with a 1:23.8. Can he beat that? Yes, he can. A 1:23.4 will be. That's him at one space. Now into P17. It's an improvement nevertheless, so you're going to take that at this point. Making his way now through turn 1 again. That's one of the Honda XSX I was talking about. Actually, a very interesting livery choice, I must say. Probably one of the custom ones made and sent through the awesome sim racing program. Allows for loads of drivers to upload their own custom liveries and change them around. Really express themselves through the form of liveries in this game. Baron Kraan didn't improve in his lap because he had a little bit of a moment there towards the end. But at least he's driving again, so that is something. Now we are watching some Germani go at it again. See if he can improve at least a little bit. Would be nice. Looks like he won't be able to do so. Sylvain Pastores then giving it another go as well. 1:23.4 is his time to beat, and he won't reach that, at least not now. So his driver stays in P16 as a result. Matti Nikanen also with a 1:22.992. Can he beat that again? He's already in the 2-2, so already doing good, and he'll do even better. 1:22.287 here. What a beautiful lap that was from him. Obviously, sets it into the pits to try and celebrate. Well, I don't blame him. That's a very, very good lap from him. Now waiting for Mario Mariano. Waiting for him to cross the line. Yeah, a 4:54. That was just his out lap, obviously. We saw him out of the pits earlier. For some reason, I already thought that he'd come around, but there's no way you can that quickly, right? Michelle Obiali. Couldn't improve as well. Small mistake. Extra 2 seconds slower on that lap, so she's going to have to try again later on. Now we see Sylvain Pastores once again. Now making his way through the last sector of the circuit here. Can he improve this? 2.5 minutes left to do so, so we'll get another shot, but it would be nice to get him a little bit further up here. So he's going to try, give it his everything. Will he improve? Sylvain Pastores, yes, puts it in P13 with a 1:22.970. That's quite a big improvement. Between a wait for Angela Scott to get around as well. 2:18. Yeah, that's not going to help. It's not going to be any quicker here. Benjamin X going slow again. A little bit of an incident again. The same turn as last time round. Now waiting for Craig Hill to get around as well. Or are you waiting for Mr. Getman? Yeah, we're missing quite a few, actually. I mean, I don't know how many of the Christmas events drivers were supposed to show up today, but... Ooh. Alessandro Germani also going off. Not great, not great. Maybe Benjamin Eck can improve. Well, he already was going slowly, so I doubt that actually can. Ooh, that is one of the McLarens going off in the distance as well. Ooh, you need to leave space, my friend. 296 Ferrari there. Not ready for that. Now waiting for Michael De Gore, one of the French drivers. What can he do then? That's what we all wonder, don't we? Can he improve from that current P19? Can he? Well, does it look like it? Nah, it's roughly 10 seconds off his usual pace. So not good enough, unfortunately. Ooh, Steven Seggers had a little bit of a moment as well. Has to reset into the pits. Not looking great for him either. Only a minute left in qualifying. In fact, even less. So what can he actually do? Here we have Nathaniel Piachek. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Doubt that's his actual last name though. 1:23.642. Not able to get an improvement in, unfortunately. Maybe next time round. Can get another lap on, but now needs to not make any mistakes anymore. That's going to be the most difficult question here. Can he actually do so? Well, we're about to find out in the last one. Here we see Mario Mariano making his way across the line once again. Now, I know for a fact that that Honda is not easy to drive, so... But maybe, you never know. Maybe they'll be able to manage it. I for sure wouldn't be. Qualifying is officially over now, so everybody crossing the finish is done. Trying to find the number 221 real quick. There it is. It's Malcolm Gartby. Currently already on pole position. Can he improve in his last lap at 122? Actually looks like he will. Just to rub in some salt in the wound. At 121.810. Impressive stuff we're seeing here. Waiting for Alessandro Germani to come in as well. What can they then do? It looks like Mr. Brown has had a little bit of a moment and calling it quits thanks to that. Well, Alessandro Germani puts it in P10, at least provisionally. Craig Hill only just about got another lap in. Well, what can he do in the last one? Well, not much. He's going to drive into the pits and call it a day. Graham Potter, a name that we remember from these GT4 races, if I'm not mistaken. Please don't tell me I'm wrong on that one. I believe he was there. Alright, and it's going to be the last one to cross the line, and that's qualifying then, ladies and gentlemen. Session has ended, which means that we are going to be waiting for the race to start now in just a couple minutes here. I am just quickly gonna put the server, put the link to the stream out as well in some servers, get a little bit more viewers going. That would be very nice. Alright, so 2.5 minutes until we get going here. Obviously then we're starting with a warm-up lap here. It's going to be a rolling start as usual. So can I get some predictions in the chat as well? Let me know who you think is going to win. Alright, there we go. Shared it with all my friends. I hope you guys can do the same as well. Get some viewers in the chat would be very, very nice. Right, there we go. Where more can I share it, lads? I think I've put it in every single Discord where I'm allowed to promote. Yeah, there we go. That's about all that I can do. Alright, well, let's hope that I can see even more friends coming in now. Would be nice, would be very nice. And by the way, if you hear anything wrong with my microphone, let me know. Just gotta quickly press drive. There we go. Now we're back. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but that's the only way that I can do it without alt tabbing on stream. Because that means you'll be able to see all the programs that I have open, and that's none of your business. Anyways, we got an hour race here. It's going to be dry and roughly 15 degrees out. It's going to be cloudy all race, at least the coming 30 minutes, but I don't think it's going to change that much here. We have a one-time time multiplier, so time will be moving 1 hour just synchronized with the actual IRL time. So that means that if we start the race at 2, we'll be ending at 3, so nothing special there. Laguna Seca track, I think we all know. I think the iRacing drivers definitely have some very bad memories with this track in particular. This is obviously the track that you first learned to race on, basically, the MX-5 rookies at Laguna Seca. Quite a technical track, but a really fun one. So it's roughly 10 seconds until we get going. Then we're going to start with our warm-up lap and then get underway. Alright, there we go. Everybody's off now, so that means that we'll be starting our formation lap here. Everybody gets a chance to warm up their tires here. You're going to need that. I can tell you a lot, you're going to need that. If you have cold tires at the start, you're done for. So anyways, just to take you through the order of the field here, we have Guard B on top, significantly quicker than the rest. And then we have Nikanen right behind as well. Zakdal is in third, Ekes in fourth, Bialy in fifth, Never PHX in number 6, Scott, Seggers, Welsh, Germani right behind. Then we have Brown, Woodward, Tibor, Robinson in P14, Pastores in P15. Then we have Tuomainen, Osorio, Hill, Rudometkin, De Gore. Those will be rounding out our top 20 here. In P21 we have Constantin, then we have Graham Potter following right behind him. Then we have Taylor, Burjo, Ruston, Kraan, Lark, Stewart, Evans, Mariano, and Tom Bruneel. So this man starting on pole position, that is Smoker Gardby. Swede will be finishing us off. He will be the first one to start as well. You can see it at any time as well on the track minimap here. The car leading the race will be shown as a triangle, where the rest will be shown as circles. And then the car that I've currently selected will be marked as well in red. We've made our way to the last sector of the race as well. Currently we're 1-to-1 in terms of drivers on the side, but obviously we need to go 2 for 2 here, because we need one on the left, one on the right to make it fair. Malcolm Gardby is going to be in pole position for this race, and he'll have the inside line on the first turn. And last time around we had quite a few incidents around, so I hope this time we can keep it clean. It would be very much appreciated if we can actually. And I'm excited, and I hope you guys are as well. We have quite a few viewers here out there on YouTube, so welcome everybody. There we go. We are currently waiting for everybody to cross the line here. There we go. That is green light. It looks like Gardby's actually off quite well, but so is the Porsche right next to him, but he has the inside line. And look at how wide that Porsche is going into turn 1. Oh, there's already a crash. 2 drivers going off and now actually being spun right onto the track once again. It is an absolute massacre on the track. Oh no, what a disastrous first lap that was. So many drivers here pushed away. All the drivers now at the back. That is Alessandro Germani who got involved in the first touch there you saw initially on the left. And look at what that has done to his BMW. And not even so. I mean, look at all the positions he's lost. I mean, some drivers here have lost over 20 position here. Never PHX. He was off in 6th, but now it's P24. Same can be said about this man here. Thomas Walsh started in P9, now is last, P31. What an absolute disaster that was. It looks like other than that, the rest is at least kept it clean, so it's not too bad here. It was just a little bit of a avoiding action that needed to be taken around. That's about all. So definitely things could be worse here. We're currently watching Angela Scott in a Trans McLaren Racing livery, so he's showing her love to the LGBTQ plus community there, showing her support. Maybe Angela herself is, I have no clue. It's always fun to see all those liveries out there. Seeing some very creative ones there. I tried making some myself, couldn't do it. There we go. Everybody's made it through the first lap basically here. Ooh, Karim Martinicana needs to be careful there. I get it though. He started P2, so he wants to make up some spaces. Oh, there's a little touch in behind, and actually so many cars involved again. Those were 3 or 4 there. Trying to go side by side into turn 1 was not a good idea for them. There we go. They're still trying to recover as well to make things even worse. Look at that. Porsche actually waited, so I believe that he thinks he's at fault at least. Now, I can't tell you for sure. Or number 7, that's Germani, has already gone into the pit, probably to serve that, you know, either serve some penalties, which I doubt he's gotten actually, but probably also just to fix up that car, because that car looked absolutely beat. And so quite a few changes early on the round. It's still Gardby leading, and lots of drivers moving up 1 position here. Nikana lost 4 in the process. Everybody was behind him, was pushed up 1 spot. It's this man who's won the most here. Rudometkin has gained 11th position on the opening lap alone. So Quite a good sign for Vladimir Rudometkin. Obviously, he still has to make a count here. Viali being chased down by Angelo Scott as well. Making their way through the first turn once again. Swapping over to one of my favorite liveries, the one that I've spotted before. Oh man, that's a stunning looking car. Oh, that's actually so well made. I love that. Chobolia Tibor. I hope I'm pronouncing that right as well. My Hungarian isn't too great. I really need to get into studying languages again, man. That was good fun. So let's see what's happening at the back of the field here. We're currently aboard with F. Clark. It's currently in quite a big group there. Ooh, that is one of the Ferraris going off. Losing quite a bit of time there. That is Osorio as well, who's gone into the sand. So 2 incidents happening at a similar time. Let's just swap back to Clark. You can see that some more positions have been swapped around. Was Seggers losing out. He's lost 6 positions there alone, I believe. Quite a few at least. Definitely doesn't help early on with the momentum. Definitely doesn't help when it comes to the mental game either. We'll see how much they actually have to do with that later on, because there is still a very long race to go. There's 55 minutes left here, which means that all the drivers still need to get their head back into it. That is the Porsche going for a little overtake there. Never be a checks there. Think he might have gotten that on the inside. Yeah, indeed, but that McLaren is a quick car, so can he bounce back? Well, not quite. Bram Kraan giving it a go here. Tries to make the most out of it, but doesn't look like he could. Sergio Osorio choosing a little bit of a wider line and trying to get a better exit, perhaps. Doesn't look like he's close by enough though, so he's just going to have to slot in behind there. Was this man who just got overtaken as well? Graham Potter making his way past Tom Brunel, the man we saw in the chat earlier. Look, unfortunately, he's had to come out. Oh, Jack Evans into the wall. He goes with his Honda NSX. Jesus, I just can't pronounce that. It's going to cost him quite a few positions. Same can be said about Karim Martin-Nikano, which you can't even see on the screen. Where is he? Oh, no. How has he ended up in that position? Looks like he is still going, though. But, oh, man, what a disaster that is for him. I mean, keep in mind, this man started in the 2nd place and now is P29. Can you imagine that? Losing so many positions at the same time here. But unfortunately, those things happen. Now, switching over to the Canadian driver is Curtis Ruston, here Drive Motorsport representative, making his way through the last few corners of the track as well. You have the left-hander, and there you go. You've done another lap as well. Currently P16, moved up from P25, so he's going to be quite satisfied with what the game has gotten. Obviously, he's been lucky to avoid the majority of the incident. That's obviously one thing that helps you when you're at the back here. Thomas Walsh here making his way into the pit now as well. Looks like he had actually touched the wall of the pit there as well, trying to repair some damages early on. Now we see Alan Brown here trying to dive down the inside of the McLaren. Can he stick the move? It looks like he can. McLaren leaves him enough space. There's some very good clean racing we're seeing so far. Alan Brown moves up 1 position. Into P22 he goes. Stunning move that was. Now we have a little bit of a train here currently aboard with Lewis Robinson. The similar livery, if not the exact same livery to the Finn we have seen before. Might be teammates. It's also the Canadian driver. They're going quite wide there. Looks like he's able to keep it within the lines now. Into that little kink. There you go. And now up the hill you go to make your way down and drop. And ooh, Curtis Ruston, he's been touched. That was the driver I was just talking about earlier. Looks like he will go into the wall here. So definitely a few noticeable incidents early on in the race. So also might be a good idea to perhaps reconsider a little bit. Reconsider your action, because in the end, to finish first you have to finish. A famous quote obviously by Michael Schumacher that was, if I remember correctly. Ooh, Jack Evans gone off again. Might have been involved into an incident with Mario Mariano. No, it doesn't look like it. Just a coincidence that they were both marked as yellow flags in the software that I'm using to spectate the race. So it doesn't look like those two were involved there. Swapping over to Hannu Tuomainen in that Porsche 911 here. Fighting for position with Hill and Nagora at the same time as well. That Porsche might have a go around the outside here. In the next turn, he'll have the inside line. So can he actually stay next to him. It looks like he will be able to do so. I think he has to stuck the move. Yeah, absolutely. 100 Turbine moves up one position, getting himself into P10 now. And actually, Hill has also lost that position now to the Gore. So he's lost 2 positions at the same time now. That is definitely not the ideal start to your race here. Now swapping back to Sergio Sorio. Only a few places behind, only a few seconds behind here. Currently in a battle with Taylor here. Tries to go down the inside on the downhill. Looks like he'll be able to stick that landing. Yeah, absolutely. What a move that was from Sergio Osorio. Things are looking good for them so far. Alex Sakdal now making his way to the first corner once again. Gartby is still leading, and then it's Eck and Zakdal here trying to battle it out for 3rd position. The the Lamborghini that is in front of the Porsche at the moment. I love the color scheme on Alex Sakdal's Porsche though, I gotta say. That's definitely one of my favorites. Now swapping back to Bram Kraan, a little bit further back here. Osorio, Robinson and Taylor all driving in a little train, but not only that, actually looks like they're also catching up to Never PHX at some point. Well, not quite yet, there's still 3 seconds to go, but it looks like they're gaining roughly half a second at the moment. That is quite a big margin there as well. Is that going to be the move here for the Portuguese driver down the inside of Bram Kraan? Well, it doesn't look like he has the pace quite yet, but it's definitely interested. Don't think he was able to do so here, and looks like they just kind of have to wait a little bit longer there. Bram Kraan here leaving all the space he needs to. Definitely wants to race hard, but definitely wants to race fair as well. And the Porsche is getting closer and closer now. Down the inside he goes to move. A little bit of a touch there. So Bram Kraan ends up going wide. Unfortunately, oh, that is such a big moment as well. That is the other McLaren getting involved as well. Not good. And at the same time, it's also this man who's gone off. No, not quite. All right. There we go. Yeah, it turns out that multiple incidents happened at the same time. That's what happened. So definitely messy in the beginning here, but it looks like everybody's going again. So that's nice. And Neil Woodward wants to give it a go against the Aston Martin as well. Maybe turn 1 is the place to get most overtakes done after all. Yeah, absolutely. Goes for it. Absolutely sends it into the corner. Leaves enough space though for the Aston Martin, but Neil Woodward puts himself into P5. Of the admins of the server also joining this time around. Tom Brunel actually touches the back of the McLaren there. Not a great look for the Belgian driver, and the Porsche and the Lamborghini actually both have to go wide to take avoiding action. It's been messy, absolutely. And also noticed that somebody had been posting some hearts in the chat earlier. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you very much. Appreciate that as well. It means that people are actively watching and showing support to the stream, which is always awesome. Ooh, Steven Seggers has gone into the wall with his Ferrari 296. Gets into the pits. A reset that was here. So what does that actually mean here? Wait, somehow he's just ended up in P1. Wow, that's interesting. Alright, don't think the software is built to account for people getting into the pits that way. Interestingly enough. Matti Cannon in the Porsche 992 by Simtech Racing. Really making his way up the hill to then go down again. Has overtaken Sir Stewart right behind. Mark Stewart was one of the drivers we saw at Donington Park earlier on. Representing the United States of America, interestingly enough. Because he is actually British. You saw it on the flag on the right earlier, but maybe he's a bit of both, you never know. Also drivers in the pits now as well. We have Brown in the pit, we have Bram Kraan in the pit, as well as Steven Seggers here. Don't know what the plan is for most of them. Are they going to retire? Are they going to get new tires under? Are they going to refuel? You never know. Look at this as well. Benjamin Eck has made a small mistake. So now that Porsche all over him again. Needs to keep pushing to avoid getting past here. It's the Swedes fighting it out between each other here at the moment. Benjamin still leading between the two. With the Porsche giving it a go here. Down the inside he goes. A little bit of a touche, but it looks like they'll both be right after that one. The Porsche now taking second position. Like breakfast. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Well, actually, I played a bit of breakfast earlier the other day. Love that game. Absolute masterpiece. I love destroying things, including myself. The thing what makes that game so great is that you can Let out your frustrations without consequences. Onto your friends if you want to. That's what I've been doing at least. I wish there was more of a community in terms of competitive wreckfest. Because honestly, I would be down to watch competitive wreckfest. If that was an actual thing, you know, with an overlay and a broadcast. Oh man, leave me to it. I'd love to see that one day. Don't think it's going to happen though. Don't think that's really the kind of audience they're going for, obviously. But can you imagine? I don't think there's tournaments for them, are there? I mean, they have this built-in tournament mode I know of, but don't think it awards you anything, really. Currently watching Lewis Robinson here, trying to get away from Osorio and Graham Potter as well. Welcome everybody to the chat as well. See some new faces in there, welcome. Hope you guys are doing great, and definitely Swedish domination is the word. Garby, Zakto, and like all Swedish. Good for the first free position. We might see an all Swedish podium if things stay the same. And Porsche is still ahead of the Lamborghini. Benjamin Agnew actually falling off a little bit here. So swap over to Lewis Robinson again. Being pressured by Osorio this time around and also catching Hill quite quickly. Look at how close they are together, but so far keeping it clean. Lewis Robinson still defending quite strong, but if he wants to get a move on, I have to make a move eventually. Mark Stewart has put it into the wall there with his Lamborghini. That is not a very good sign there. I think he'll be able to recover though, and Angela Scott has also spun around. Don't think Angela was involved in any accidents though. Not entirely sure about that one, but there we go. Mark Stewart actually struggling to get back on the track as well. Needs to find a way to do so safely. And actually, Giorgio Bergio goes out in front. He wasn't involved in any of this. He's just spun out on his own. Needs to find a way to make his way back onto the track. So yeah, once again, a little bit of a messy race we're seeing here. And the Scott will now have to make a comeback drive as well. Lost 7 positions compared to her starting position. Oh, sorry, excuse me. She lost 5 positions. She started P7. Moved down to P12 after that little incident. It was the other way around. For some reason I thought she qualified P5, but no. Qualified P5. And qualified P7, lost 5 positions, not the other way around. Benjamin Eck still chasing as well now, coming through the first corner again. Not close enough to make a move here, but eventually I think he will. I think she's playing the waning game at the moment here. Eventually he'll go for it. I know that he will. Craig Hill defending from Angela Scott here. Actually, it looks like Angela will just go down the inside here, but now we'll have the outside line again, so Craig Hill should just stay ahead unless something magical happens. I don't think it will. No, Craig Hill still defending and still holding on strong here. Thomas Walsh. I mean, why not also show some battling towards the back? I mean, it's happening right now. We shouldn't forget about them. Thomas Walsh is pushing down Ruston here to get into P24 here. And this 60-minute long race where this man seems to just be driving in a league on its own. I mean, what more can I say about him? Melker Gardby is just so much quicker than the rest, and it's not even close. It's not even funny anymore for all the drivers involved. I mean, the man's just been driving in the league on its own, really. 10 seconds already ahead of the number 2 driver as well. That is Zach Dahl, a name we've seen multiple times performing well, and this time especially in the Laguna Seca race. He's been towards the front since the beginning, basically. Qualified P3 and 4th, but obviously we've seen the Porsche fall off in the name of this man. That is Karim Mahdi. He kind of got involved in incidents. Probably had some damage as well on his car, so as a result, wasn't really able to do so. There we go. That is Thomas Walsh now on the inside. I think he'll be able to stick this, considering that he'll have the inside line in the next turn. Yeah, absolutely. Not even being contested. No, surely not. Well, there we go. That is Ruston losing another position. That is a position gain as well. Oh no, Lewis Robinson He's made his way off the track, but it looks like he'll be able to recover. So maybe I was over-exaggerating just a little bit there. This man as well, still defending strong as well from Sir Obiali. New Woodward here, passing the back markers cleanly, and now continuing their hunt will be Michele Obiali. Alright, here, what do we have? We have Curtis Ruston still pushing, trying to get back to the Ferrari 295 of Thomas Walsh, but currently not close enough here. This man is now fighting for his life rather than being the hunter. He's now the hunter. That is Laguna getting up closer by as well. The gap is currently roughly half a second, and you have Rudemetkin and Potter right behind them as well. So a bit of a group there, just making their way through the same turns once again. Right-hander here, there we go, and it looks like there's not a lot of space for moves. Yeah, simply too far away. Neil Woodward going downhill now once again, trying to defend the position from the Aston Martin. Seen some good battles around here, I must be honest. Currently watching Manuel Fever. That's just what I'm gonna keep calling him, because I don't know what else to say, really. I mean, it's a tricky name to pronounce already. You know, it's not his real name either, so that definitely doesn't help, you know. Alright, Michael De Gore, who needs to be careful because Ferrari is looking mean at the moment. That is Rudemetkin, if I'm not mistaken, right behind him. Yeah, indeed, that is. Fighting for position as well. That position number 12 we're seeing them fight for. Making their way through the last turn as well. But it looks like Rudemetkin is simply too far off at the moment. However, perhaps they'll go for a ballsy move on the first turn. No, it's definitely too far off now. Just gonna have to wait. Slotting behind there, perhaps around the outside. Well, that would be very optimistic. Nah, surely not. Maybe one day we'll see those moves happen, but I don't see them happening right now. Alright, so Robinson has made his way into the pits as well, serving his mandatory pit stop here. 40 minutes left to race, so already 1/3 there. Making the way into the Andretti hairpin is Kari-Matti Nikana now. Actually fighting for position with this man as F. Clark, the man without a first name. Oh, there we go. That is the Finn making a small mistake. Able to keep the car going. Ooh, that scared me a little bit. It's not too bad around here. Looks like he's been able to recover. Sand slows you quite a bit as well, so in that sense it's actually a quite safe track. You know, not a lot of walls you can hit. Apart from the few turns you have uphill, there's not a lot of space to go off there, but other than that, I think you should just be fine here. Vladimir Rudemetkin now hunting for De Gore, but De Gore is quite far away. Their Fever PHX also serving as mandatory pit stop, and so will Vladimir Rudemetkin. Lots of drivers here serving their mandatory pit stop. The first 11 drivers haven't pitted yet. Graham Potter, Osorio haven't either. So it's Fever. PHX was the highest ranked driver at the moment. Who has served this pit stop in P13, that is. P14, that is now. Then we see that the driver right behind Rudemetkin has just come in as well. Then the bottom 5 has as well. Obviously, we have 2 DNFs already, so I don't know exactly what's left the server, but looks like the damage was simply too much to handle. And I understand, honestly. It can be really, really quickly done for if you get a massive amount of damage. I think we all know that by now. Ooh, Curtis Ruston, can he keep the car going? No, not quite. He's going to spin out eventually. Fought really hard to get the car going. Needs to get out of the way now before rejoining safely. Be a little bit tricky, but it looks like he'll be able to do so. Ooh, you need to be careful on your rejoins there. Aston McLaren taking a little bit of the escape route to avoid an incident. Michele Obiali now also making her way around the Andretti hairpin, but no move can be done now. Hannu Tuomainen has been doing a little bit of a recovery drive here from P16 at a rough qualifying, up 8 positions. Haven't seen much mistakes from Hanu after all, so eventually we'll see pushing even harder. Grandma Potter now. Still fighting hard with that Porsche. That is still a Sorio. Pushing with him. His teammates with one of the Dutch drivers last time round, if I remember correctly. Not even mixing them up though, I mean. People that don't know me, I don't know much about Formula Racing League. In fact, I don't know much about sim racing after all. It's something I've been getting into very recently for half a year now, I want to say correctly. But ACC is a game I haven't really played a lot of. I mean, it's a game that I enjoy watching a lot, but it seems to be very tricky, and I'm already struggling in the MX5 Cup in regular set of course. But yeah, I mainly do Counter-Strike, and this is just a side thing that I do. And this time I was invited from the FRL team to join them on a little bit of an adventure around Laguna Seca this time around. There I did the Christmas race as well around Donington Park for the people that were there. Feedback was quite great, and I appreciate everybody giving their inputs as always. My DMs are open if you want to point something out, something that I've done good, something that I need to work on, because it's always going to help me improve the streams here. I've got a new microphone, that's a good start. The scenes don't really allow me to use a face cam, but I've got a face cam and a ring light set up now as well, so definitely making big improvements in that sense. Ooh, Mickey Taylor's gone into the wall. One of the narrowest parts of the circuits there in terms of escape road that you have. There's not many of it. Mickey Taylor able to continue at least, but that surely is some damage at least. Actually, Obiali here also now making his way downwards. Still following Woodward around here. These two have been fighting since the beginning of the race. Looks like the Aston Martin still hunting, but Ferrari definitely isn't bowing anytime soon. Still going strong there. Goes quite wide on the exit. That might allow for an opportunity here, but looks like the Ferrari will just have the inside line regardless, so no problem for him now. Headed over towards the start-finish line into the first turn, but I don't think we're gonna see a winner anytime soon, because these two seem to just be struggling here for overtaking opportunities rather, because this track is, well, not a circuit that I know is like really tricky to overtake on, but you need to definitely have a good run in terms of actual speed to get by. It's like pretty easy to attempt, but like you're always going to be struggling to get a good line afterwards, especially if you are on the outside immediately after, and that's definitely something that we see quite often on the track. People going for moves and then not being able to hold on to that position immediately afterwards. We saw it a couple times earlier. Whoever will be going for a move down the inside, however, is Angela Scott. What a move that was. That's a really good transition you've given me there. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. Oh god, I keep hitting the microphone with my headset microphone. I could probably actually unplug that. I don't know why I still had that on in the first place, because I wasn't using that anymore. I've got an external mic for quite a while now. Quite a good one at that, I think. Definitely was one of the most expensive things I've bought in terms of PC stuff, but the stream quality has been improved quite a bit as a result. The mic is, well, actually a pleasure to listen to, in my opinion, even when my voice isn't working properly like it is right now, because I'm a little bit sick, in case you weren't able to tell. We're here. So Spolia, Tibor making his way to the pits as well, serving his mandatory pit stop. So more and more drivers here pitting. Roughly half the field has completed their mandatory pit stop now, and we're roughly halfway through the race, so that makes a lot of sense here. That's the time most drivers will be pitting at, you know, in terms of tires. That just seems a logical option regardless here. Clark has gotten himself a 30-second stop and go penalty, quite a heavy penalty as well there, because if he were to serve that, he would lose, oh lord, he'd lose like 5 positions, and that I think it's safe to say that you're going to struggle afterwards. Sorio in the pits, Hill in the pits, and Tibor in the pits, as I mentioned before as well, so things are looking good, that's for sure. Speaking about things looking good, Milker Gardby, I mean, he doesn't get a lot of screen time because he's just driving in no man's land, really. leading by quite a big margin at this point. 11.5 seconds here. Alex Sectel still chasing. Has cut loose of the Lamborghini of Benjamin Eck, which is this man. Even then, I don't know how he's supposed to catch up. Like, P1 seems very far away for both of them. Giorgio Bergio is a driver we're watching at the moment, and I want to say that I remember that name, but if I want to do a very bold prediction, maybe he's raced in the Amigos Racing League before. That's a guess that I might have. It's the league that I get into. Starting my adventure as a commentator, and that has allowed me to grow and move on to greater things like this one. That's a joke, by the way. Of course, I like my friends from Amigos. They've done a lot for me. Nobody knows this. I know some of them are watching, so probably should behave a little bit better here. Oh, I'm already getting Discord DMs. All right, well, maybe that wasn't the best thing to say then, but I won't. I love you guys. Just know that. Right, not a lot of fights happening on track. I mean, this is the only fight where people are actually close. I mean, Tom Brunel serving his pit stop means that he'll be moving down a couple positions here. Still up 9 positions from his qualifying position, which was lost, P31. So not too bad after all, but he's losing quite a few positions serving his mandatory pit stop. Everybody served their pit stop at the back, apart from Sir Bergio and Mariano as well. And then we haven't really looked at that much. I mean, we mentioned the NXX before. We mentioned this livery before, the Apple computer livery. One of the trickiest cars to drive around, and obviously a car that was kind of out of meta, but now is bouncing a little bit back thanks to the low fuel motorsport balance of power. Means that the car has been a little bit lighter now. That's how that works. So cars that are really, really strong get nerfed a little. Cars that are really, really weak get buffed a little bit to be more competitive. We're watching Vladimir Rudometkin chasing down Tibur. I think you heard that all, right? Halfway mark here for the drivers. So 30 minutes left, 30 minutes past. Curious to see what the drivers will be doing at the front, because most of them haven't pitted yet. Eventually they're going to have to come in. I mean, those drivers at the front usually tend to stay out a little bit longer, try and create a gap so that you don't get traffic when you go back. Over that got me tricky, because look at how divided the field is already, right? Gore serving his mandatory pit stop as well. That is one more stripe of the list. There is two drivers at the back and 8 in the front. So 10 out of 27 drivers are yet to pit as well. Now we see Sectel, Woodward and Bialy all coming in at the same time here, serving their pit stops. Who's going to come out ahead? We need to keep our eyes on that. Same for Angela Scott. They're all coming in at the same time, same lap. I wonder if this is coordinated or just an absolute coincidence. Most drivers coming in. Perhaps it was just the first one coming in and everybody deciding to follow. It's a little bit of a risk you're taking there, but it does mean that this man now temporarily pushes up to P2. That is Sylvain Pastorius in the Ferrari 296 now. And try and drive as quick as possible to hopefully stay ahead of the drivers in the pits. Obviously, he's going to have to pit himself at some point as well. So temporarily we have other drivers here moving up positions. It looked like Eck and Nubiale are both coming out of the pits now, and so is Neil Woodward as well. There they go again. Neil Woodward's still ahead of the Aston Martin, so that hasn't changed. Need to wait for the pit limiter to go out, and there we go. And now you can't just cross onto the line here. No, you need to stay on the inside, which can be a little bit tricky, actually. It's actually a more tricky corner than people might expect here, but Neil Woodward handles it quite well, so he's off to drive again. Same can be said about Michael De Gore. Now going downhill, had served this pit stop a couple laps ago, and now we're waiting for Mariano to pit, as well as the drivers in second, third, and fourth place. So Tuomainen back in... no, sorry, that's the other Finn, actually. That's Hannu Tuomainen, started P16. Apologies there. Graham Potter was moved up 18 positions respectively already, and obviously he is yet to pit, so he'll fall back a couple, but that's still a very impressive result regardless here. And there we go, race leader coming into the pit, so we have a new race leader, at least temporarily. I mean, at least officially, is the race leader. But let's be honest, you know that he's going to pit, so you know that he's going to slot in behind eventually. But most drivers serving the mandatory pit stop now. And oh, what has happened there to Giorgio Borgio coming out of the pit lane? And that's exactly the danger that I warned you guys for earlier on. That pit lane is very deceiving. Lewis Robinson has finally caught up to Thomas Walsh. Thomas Walsh needs to be fending for his life here as well. The Ferrari is a car that is really quick, but so is the Porsche. So you see them, a little group of 3 there. That is actually one of the front runners as well in there. I think that is Sir Zakdal. Yeah, indeed, that is here. So every driver getting out of the way to let him pass, they're gonna have to want to risk getting any penalties. Thanks for last minute. Happy new wait, what does it say? Happy New Year, drivers and rFactor. Yeah, well, you're welcome, man. I don't know why I couldn't read that message fully on, but thank you very much, and I wish everybody else a Happy New Year as well, obviously. Hope you guys have had a great Christmas, and if not, then I hope that this can make up for it, because it's been an entertaining race to see so far here. Tumainen and Pastorius both coming into the pits as well, so they'll be moving down the field again. That means that this man will be moving up to P1 once again. Melke Gardby making his way into P1 now. Things are looking good for him. Things are looking very, very good for him. Lewis Robinson still chasing Thomas Walsh, but these two seem to be driving at a very competitive speed. It looks like they aren't really gaining or losing too much here. There's still 4 tenths between each other, make that 5 now. So basically the same as they have been driving the entire race. It basically shows how consistent they really are. Or they happen to make mistakes at the same time, which I really doubt. But in that sense, really shows how good these drivers really are. Because to be honest, if I race for more than 15 minutes, my arms are dead. And not only that, it's also a little bit of a mental game, obviously, because you need to be focused. You can't really ever relax, right? You need to keep at it here. And to give you an idea as well, it looks like Alessandro Germani is going in. I mean, he's only driven 15 laps so far. The rest of the grid has driven 22 at a minimum. So that just shows what happens when you have an incident early on, you pit and then make some more mistakes. It's really unfortunate because he qualified really, really well, but eventually I think he's going to pull the plug. I don't think he's finishing this race, but maybe he'll surprise me, and catching up is going to be difficult, but never impossible, right? At least that's the mindset that you should have here. Now, with 24 minutes on the clock, you're more than halfway through the race, and drivers know that as well. So fuel's becoming lower, so in that sense the cars might be becoming a little bit faster here, but also we're going to be unfocused. And speaking of that, well, that has just absolutely happened to Curtis Russell. You saw him go off in the background, and now he is going again, but obviously that doesn't help either. A little bit of damage on the car to make matters worse as well here. So in that sense, I think it's safe to say that, well, you know, it's getting more tricky out there. The tires obviously also aren't going to be lasting forever. Now, that's not a big issue in this race, but you can imagine if you do a 2-hour race like we did before, then staying on the same stint will be basically impossible. I mean, some drivers will be able to do so, but it requires a lot of effort, and it requires them to be, you know, very, very cautious with their tires. And you have to play very safely basically the entire race, which again, nothing is really worth it at that point. Missed the start of the race, but you're watching from the beginning later tonight. Happy New Year's, everyone. Yeah, same to you, my friend. You've missed quite a bit of action. I'm not going to spoil much, but there were some heavy incidents in the beginning. Speaking about incidents, here we have Craig Hill spinning his car around to get going again. I think he's made it into the wall. But it's been a very spectacular race so far, and that's obviously means we had some carnage. Well, you always do. It's online racing after all. But not only that, I mean, I think it's also safe to say here that most of the drivers here have actually been going for some pretty ballsy moves on the inside of turn 1 is, I think, the most famous example here. Graham Potter now pitting as well, serving his mandatory pit stop, and he was the last one to do so. So every single driver here has pitted now. And with 22 minutes on the clock remaining, I think it's safe to say that all the drivers will be making it through the end if things keep going this way, because I'm not expecting any big surprises here. Lewis Robinson. Ooh, you need to be careful there, my friend. You've almost gone off. The BMW behind him actually did go off. You can definitely see how he was losing a little bit of traction there. There we go as well. Graham Potter making his way out of the pit lane. Has lost 2 extra positions just now. That is Rudy Metkin and also Hill making their way past. Now they're switching back to Angela Scott. Graham Potter seems to be a little bit quicker than the man in front. That is Craig Hill. With 21 minutes left, he's going to have to start to make a move eventually. He's trying to catch up as quickly as he can. You can see how much time he's gaining on him. Bringing the gap down from roughly a second to 0.6 seconds within a lap. Not the only battle happening on track right now, actually. It seems like most drivers are actually just driving quite far away from each other. Graham Potter still catching up, but looks like he's actually lost a bit of pace. And then we have Pastores also being chased down by Never Pieces for the Swiss here. Needs to be careful because that Frenchman is approaching rapidly. And as I say that, actually looks like Craig Hill has made a small mistake. And now you can see the Mercedes getting closer. I was actually wondering as well, is he the only Mercedes on the grid? Yeah, it looks like he is. So it's quite surprising. I know that the Mercedes is actually quite popular. So surprisingly, there aren't many of them on the grid this time around. Not more than one I can count. Rodriga, hello. Welcome to the stream, my friend. How is it going? And there we go. Again, it is still Thomas Waltz versus Lewis Robinson. And Lewis Robinson still trying to get past that Ferrari, but that Ferrari is just too quick at the moment. These two have been driving together since the beginning. So far, there hasn't been much of a position change. I mean, these two have just been driving greatly so far. I mean, Lewis Robinson knows that time's going to be an issue. He needs to make a move eventually. But now, though, it's going to be too far away. And oh, Tom Brunel making his way outside of the tractor. Small mistake. Big, what's the word for that again? Big consequences. That was the word I was looking for. See, I'm a non-native speaker. I'm allowed to make those mistakes, right? No, but in all seriousness, though, yeah, it's unfortunate to see him go down like that. Loses another position as well to Mario Mariano. 26 drivers left, so that means we have 5 DNFs around this time. Giorgio Bergio making his way on the main straight, chasing Mark Stewart. I was trying to find his first name, couldn't find it real quick, but there we go. Still going, still trying to hold on strong, but Mark Stewart, a driver that seems to know how to drive well here. Lewis Robinson now finally getting closer to Thomas Walsh. Well, will there finally be a move here? I will be so disappointed if they don't overtake each other for quite a while, and then as soon as they swap away, they swap places. I can already see that happening here. Ooh, Bialy has got himself a 30-second stop and go penalty, and oh no, that is a collision between the McLaren and the Porsche. Oh no, that is not good. So that means that Lewis Robinson is going to have to give up fighting for that position. That is not good here. Tom Brunel loses another position there to Mark Stewart, and actually will let go of Giorgio Bergio as well. So I think he's made a small mistake. Belgian driver now behind the 2 and in P24. But don't be sad. He might still be making a comeback. At least overtaking those two is definitely a mission that seems to be possible. Graham Potter now getting closer to Mr. Hill again. Craig Hill, that was his name. I was trying to find it real quick. There we go. Still going strong. Graham Potter is within 3/10 at the moment. And actually, would you believe it that Melker Jardby, the man who has been driving in front, has set an equal time in terms of best lap time to this man, Alex Seca, believe it or not, actually has set the same lap time. That is a 1:22.085. So perhaps it's close. And oh, as soon as we swap back, that is Graham Potter going off into the sand. He goes, but he's able to continue with race. But at what costs here? Still trying to defend that position now, but it's going to be very tough. He's going to have to go wide on that one, and the Porsche finds his way around just now. Yeah, beautiful move as well. Forced into a mistake. Trying to overly aggressively defend that position. Wasn't able to get back on the track properly. Take a good line as well. Michele Obiali is back into the pits as well. We're watching Hannu Tuomainen at the moment. Driver who, believe it or not, actually started in P16 and has made quite a few places at the moment. I must say that I am impressed by him. Definitely good stuff we're seeing from him today. Thomas Walsh here, believe it or not, is somehow losing time to Robinson. So perhaps we'll see them catch up at some point. But no, I don't think he will. I think he's too far gone here. But he's close to Kari Matinikainen at least. So the Porsche under pressure here. The man who started in P2 now finds himself in the midfield. Will be kicking himself after that one surely. But currently he has other things on his mind because he needs to stay awake. He needs to make sure that that Ferrari doesn't get closer. That is his main priority right now. Defending from him, because if you look at the cars in front, there aren't many. So the Ferrari behind is his main concern at the moment here. Michele Obiali loses the position to Giorgio Bierger. The Romanian driver has made his way past, but now needs to be careful because Michele Obiali could go around the outside. Well, it doesn't look like Michele Obiali will be able to do so. So it will still be the Romanian driver leading. Hannu Tuomainen in 7th position now. I wouldn't be surprised if he could potentially move up more positions. He's fighting to get closer. He's currently a second off here. Graham Potter still fighting with the Porsche ahead of him. Now that is Osorio, the Portuguese driver, who has actually just gone off just as soon as... This is something that we call the commentator curse. I don't know if that is a thing in sim racing, but it most definitely is in Counter-Strike, where they make mistakes as soon as you start spectating them or start talking about them. That's exactly what happened there. So Osorio going off into the sand, loses that position. Only loses one. That's the only upside here. So damage control at least. But now needs to try and catch up. But Sergio Osorio, I'm not too happy about that one here. Definitely was an unforced error, it looks like, as well. So that's quite unfortunate. Michele Obiali on the outside. There's no space, my friend, I'm afraid. Well, he's giving it a go. Perhaps he can, but now going over the sand with 2 wheels. Well, obviously pushing the hardest possible here to try and catch up to the McLaren. And oh, what has just happened to Michael de Gore? Taking a very much outside line. He needs to be careful as well because that Ferrari obviously is a lap ahead already. Michele Obiali in P23 and Giorgio Bergio. We can keep trying, and I think they will. It's one of the biggest battles happening at the moment here. And Vladimir Rudometkin, no, he's just gone off, and so is Graham Potter. But Graham Potter actually seems to be recovering a little bit better. Vladimir Rudometkin loses a lot of time there, but is able to stay ahead at least. But that means we have a new freeway battle on. Trying to fight for P10 at the moment. Excuse me, P11 that is. That is the Porsche of... Oh, sorry, I'm making a small mistake as well. Graham Potter is sticking around, however. Now they go downhill. Need to brake very carefully into that turn. You don't want to be locking There we go into the last section of the circuit now. Doesn't look like there will be time for a line, at least not quite, to actually get an overtaken. Looks like Vladimir Rudomatkin will still be leading quite comfortably. If you can see what that looks like from the wing cam, that is pretty scary. That's a very angry Mercedes you have behind you, my friend. Vladimir Rudomatkin knows he needs to keep pushing it. Graham Potter is a very quick driver. He's proven that multiple times. And now it is up to Vladimir Rudomatkin to... Oh, no! That is Graham Potter, who has found himself sideways here, colliding with Osorio. And both drivers here going off. Sergio Osorio realizes his mistake. Lets the Mercedes pass before continuing on this road. Flashes the light as well. Hey, man, I'm sorry. Thomas Walls now representing Red Moose Racing in P16 as well. Oh god, look at that as well. Giovanni's still driving, but oh no. He's gone and gotten himself another drive-through penalty because things weren't already bad enough for him apparently. $11 minutes to go now, so roughly 5/6 of the way there. Getting closer to the final stages of the race now. We see Thomas Walls here pushing to try and get close to Nikon, and I thought at first that was Lewis Robinson, but no, Lewis Robinson is actually still behind here, but obviously there you can see they have very similar liveries, so that's why I confused the two at first here. Oh, Giorgio Bergio has just lost the position. Ubioli is made his way through and now needs to be careful as well because all those drivers around there are definitely going to struggle here. Bergio now ahead of the 296 here, and as you can see as well, that is one of the faster drivers, one of the drivers that is ahead, also fighting with them now. Ooh, Graham Potter's gone into the wall and Giorgio Bergio's gone off at the same time. No, what an absolute disaster. Multiple incidents at the same time. Looks like the Romanian drivers at least able to keep the car going. That is something. Alright, well, Mainen trying to drive fast enough to try and catch up, but it looks like right now it's a little bit of a low man's land. I mean, Sylvain Pastors isn't that far off actually. It's 7/10, but can be quite tricky to get around there. Actually make that 6/10 now at least, so that's something. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was close. That was Bergio there almost colliding with the other cars, and Michele Obiale also going off the mule. So definitely these two have had a little bit of an incident once again, so definitely a little bit of friction between the two at the moment. Seems like they've both been involved in quite a few incidents themselves. That definitely doesn't help either, you know, with the battles they've been fighting so far. It's been difficult for them to really find a safe place to battle it out. They've been learning multiple times now. Definitely not what you want here. I think it's fair to say that this man deserves to be up front. He's currently 20 seconds ahead of the rest of the field here. Zach Dahl is 22 seconds behind now. This man hasn't taken any signs of stopping yet either. I mean, can you blame him? No, not really, but he's on fresher tires, he's doing better lap times, and he's just been minding his own business, really. It's been a absolute dominant race for the McLaren driver. I mean, sometimes you just gotta admire brilliancy. It's basically the Max Verstappen of Assetto Corsa Competizione at the moment. That's just all I gotta say, man. It's like unreal what some of the drivers are doing. Because think about it this way, right? Oh, well, I'll explain what I was trying to say earlier on, but Thomas Walsh has just somehow managed to keep the car going there. That is impressive in itself. A little bit of luck involved as well. No, as I was saying, I mean, even the drivers that are at the bottom of the field, these are still drivers that are way better than the average driver out there on Assetto Corsa Competizione. This game is difficult, and the people that play the game will know exactly what I'm talking about. So in that sense, I will never look down on any of the drivers here. Ooh, Tom Brunel, what has just happened to you, my friend? You've gone off Once again, the same turn for him, I think. He was cut off earlier. Roughly 20 minutes ago, if I'm not mistaken. He's had a little bit of a moment there as well, trying to get off track, and then recovering is always difficult, but looks like he's kept the car going at least. I know Tuomainen is actually still going for that on-track position there. The McLaren going well out of the way to make sure that you don't get yourself involved in this here. Hannu Tuomainen is chasing, but with 0.9 seconds between him now, I don't think we're going to see him move anytime soon. However, Thomas Walls and Lewis Robertson have finally found each other again. Lewis Robertson goes quite wide there, so that will cost him some time at least, but still giving it their all. They are. Looks like they finally found each other again. That's always very good. Makes me happy. Ooh, Tom Brunel once again has gone off. Doesn't look like this race has been very competitive. I mean, that sometimes happens. He didn't have much luck in the GT4 around Donington Park either last time round. Potters made his way past the Gore just now. Brit moving up one position. Was the Frenchman down to P14. Ooh, Neil Woodward there. Is he headed into the pits or what has happened? No, absolutely not. What am I saying? No, for some reason, camera didn't want to adjust there. It happens, I guess. It happens. Michael de Gore still chasing the Mercedes, but it can be quite tricky. Now, decided to change the cockpit cab for a moment so you can kind of understand what it feels like to be one of the drivers here. Ooh, that's a little touch seat. Definitely far from ideal there. Pushes the McLaren off the track there. There's a little bit of a miscommunication between the two. Would be Maiba there, and Pastorius and Tuomainen now getting closer to each other. The Finn has had a good race so far. Moved up quite a few positions. Partisan position 9 so far, and he wants to make that 10 from P16 to P6 would be pretty impressive, but doesn't look like that will happen anytime soon. He's just gonna have to wait for an opportunity, but it looks like he is actually slowly gaining here. And Tuomainen trying to get as close as he can before he can actually pull off the move, but it's not gonna happen anytime soon, it looks like. I mean, maybe we'll see that. Mariano also needs to be careful because the Aston Martin of Obiali will make his way around him just now and have the inside on the next turn, so he loses that position, is now down to P22. So you know what you want to see towards the end of the race. Well, Sergio Osorio is now getting closer to Graham Potter, but that's actually not good because Graham Potter is behind him. So Sergio Osorio needs to be careful as well because both De Gore and Potter are fighting with him for position here. So it would be a shame to throw it all away in the last lap here. Sergio Osorio currently leading the two here in P12. Making their way downhill one more time here. And oh no, he's just spun into the wall. He almost goes. Managed to avoid it last second. Is able to keep going, but has lost the 2 positions now. And it will be De Gore will now be leading that pack. Sorry, now 4 seconds away, so I don't think they'll be gaining anytime soon here. Sylvain Pastor is still going strong, trying to hold on to P6 here. This is definitely a place you would be very content with if you finish there. He has also come from P15, so actually Pastorius and Tuomainen started on the same row, interestingly enough. Now are still fighting, but just 10 places ahead, so I'm wondering if perhaps they both got lucky when it comes to the early race incidents, because there have been quite a few. Hannu Tuomainen now in P7. Two and a half minutes left now, so actually getting very close to the end. See, after that, it's all depending on when the driver in first finishes. With 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock now, making his way through the first turn. It's going to be 2 or 3 more laps for everybody. And we've already ended the New Year's race. Obviously, tomorrow we have the last day of the year as well. And I wish you guys a very pleasant 2024 with hopefully very little incidents and very much overtakes. I'm going to be taking sim racing a little bit more serious myself as well, because I got a little bit more free time than I usually do. So perhaps it will allow me to meet with these people as well sometimes. But, you know, I want to be optimistic, but it's going to be very, very tricky at least. It's something that I will tell you. Graham Potter trying to make his way past the Frenchman. These two have been glued together basically since halfway through the race. And Michael de Gore knows that it's only a few more minutes. So Graham Potter needs to make a move. He needs to take initiative. Michael de Gore can just keep defending for the last minute of the race.
Alright, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
Alright, yeah, the announcer was announcing what I just wanted to say here. It looks like the driver in first has just made his way past the first chicane for the last time around there. Ooh, Thomas Walsh going off. That's quite unfortunate. And it looks like Robinson has made his way past as a result as well. So finally overtakes that position, but probably not in the way that he wanted to himself. Couldn't get a satisfying overtake, but mistakes have been made, unfortunately. So 30 seconds on the clock, so with the number 221 coming in, we're soon going to be headed into the final laps of the race, that's for sure. Sheila Ubiali still fighting with Mark Stewart around here. 10 seconds as they start their last lap around Laguna Seca. Now you can see the Aston Martin going down the inside. Should have the advantage here as well, but Mark Stewart doesn't want to give it the position, so decides to give it another go here. He will have the inside line here, so is the Aston Martin quick enough off the straight? Yes, absolutely. Vladimir Rudomatkin finds himself into the wall as one more time, and there is Melkegaard making his way across the finish. What a race it has been for this man. An absolute dominant showing from the Swede, and there we see Alex Sakdal making his way around for the last time as well. P2 it will be for the other Swede, and actually after that I've got something to show you. There we go. Benjamin Ack also making his way around, so it will be an all Swedish podium here. The Scandinavians prevail in this 1 hour race. I wanted to say 6 hour race, but no, 1 hour race, 60-minute race rather, around Laguna Seca. So congratulations to Gardby, Zakdal and Ack to be getting on the podium. Angela Scott has had a stunning recovery drive to put herself on P4. So we wait for Neil Woodward to get around. P6 at the moment. It looks like he'll stay that way. P5, excuse me now. There we go. Sylvain Pastores following right behind as well. And Tumainen not making his way past, unfortunately. But I think he'll be very satisfied. And now we wait for Nathanael Fever to also cross the finish line. And now we are going to be seeing the last driver get in there as well. That is Craig Hill finishing. So it's Gardby, Zakdal, Ack, Scott, and then Woodward as our top 5. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure providing the commentary for you. And I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. It's been incredibly fun. It's been an honor as well. Thanks to the Formula Racing League team as well for allowing me to do this. I want to thank you guys all for watching the stream and interacting with me. You can find me on social media. Obviously, RickyDC, the ISA1 on both Twitter and Twitch. So I hope to catch you there sometime around. It's been fun. That's the only thing that I have got left to say. And wish you guys all the best in 2024. May all your wishes come true in that year. We'll see you guys hopefully sometime later on this channel. But if that's not the case, then I hope that some of my other commentators for Formula Racing League will do the job just as well. Nah, but of course, all jokes. Thank you so much for Marco Keddy for allowing me to do this. It's very much appreciated. And I will see you guys next year. I was waiting for that dad joke the entire stream, by the way.